myself, Lord, as we make decisions concerning the town. We ask, Lord, that you watch over our community, watch over our servicemen, Lord, who are in harm's way today. These things we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, thank you.
Alderman Bishop.
Present.
Alderman Collier.
Present.
Mayor Graham.
Here.
Vice Mayor Jernigan.
Here.
Alderman Sandage. Alderman Halls.
Here.
Hey, any visitors who'd like to have something? Okay, we need to look over the minutes from October 10th meeting and approve those. If you need a few minutes, you're welcome to take a few minutes to look at them if you need to.
I make a motion to be approved as read.
Got a motion from Bobby,
I'll second.
second from Tim. Everyone in favor of approving the minutes for October 10th, do so by saying aye.
Aye.
And reports. James?
For the month of October, we had 257 complaints, 8 incidents, 2 accidents, 11 offense reports, 14 citations, 19 animal complaints, 7 code enforcement, and 2,126 miles.
Bob?
Town of Sloan Public Works, October 2022. Residential garbage was 77.69 ton, commercial 9.81 ton, brush was 14.5 ton, and dump trailer is 3.91 ton. Recycled plastic was 1,025 pounds, no paper. Animal control, 5 cats and 1 dog. We spent $311.06 for 3 ton asphalt. Co-op was $150.86. Liberty Lumber was $1,107.71. That was her pothole patch. Porter tires for the trailer. $319.80. Tires for the flatbed alignment was $1576.05. Northern Safety, gloves, rubber gloves, local material, 5.89 ton of crushed run rock. Action rental, rented tobacco was $9.57. Lowe's was $33.24. Mark's Auto was $419.50.
Okay, Tony's not gonna be here tonight, so if you wanna look over the sewer report, you can.
Looked like you've been pretty busy.
Yeah. And of course, I'm sure everybody knows Tony lost his dad. there's no old business,
Approve these reports.
okay, let's, approve, we need a motion and a second to approve the reports we got.
I make the motion to approve the reports.
Tim,
I'll second.
second by Warren. Everybody in favor of accepting our reports, do so say aye. Okay, no old business. Moving on to new business, Nikki Ellis is with us. Nikki, good to have you.
Good to be here, Mayor.
Absolutely. So Nikki will explain to us about our audit, which is here with us. So also, if anyone has any questions, you can ask Nikki. So,
Sure enough. Well, we did get the audit report completed through June 30, 2021. You have an unqualified or a clean opinion, which is what you want. We have to prepare these reports in accordance with regulations set down by the Governmental Accounting Standards Board, by the Comptroller of the Treasury, and our own State Board of Accountancy, ethics. There's a lot goes into one of these things, but you have a good report. We look at how you get things done, how you spend your money, how you get your financial statements put together, and if we've got any problems with any of that, we'll call them out in what they call findings. And we've got a few minor ones, but nothing dramatic, nothing drastic. So all in all, it's a clean report. The town for that fiscal year improved its financial position by about $200,000. So that part of it's moving in the right direction. That's about all I have to say about the audit report. If somebody's got specific questions, feel free to ask.
yeah, I understand we'll be pretty soon done with the next year to catch us up.
Yeah, I haven't talked to the other CPAs yet, but it's my understanding as well. We're poised to do our part when we get whatever they got.
I'm still working with Robert for Boss. We're still in the middle of gathering all that information.
Okay.
We're shooting for February, March at the latest,
Okay. All right.
hopefully February. That's what I'm looking at.
We still have some space in February. By March, we have to shut down almost exclusively for our tax loads.
Sure.
And that, even though everybody's filing date is April the 15th, it carries us well into the summer, which is what happened this year. I think, we got our stuff from Rutherford in April. And,
Yeah.
not to complain, but just to let you know, the COVID years put all of our CPA firms in a bind because we couldn't get into municipalities, we couldn't get into schools to do what we had to do, and things just went on hold. So now we're working with a backlog, and the comptroller has made it clear they want that done. One of the other things that happened to us, as with any other firm, the COVID years taught everybody that they could work remotely. So now we have accounting firms poaching our local employees from California, New York, wherever, because they will say, we can pay you very well and you can do this from home. Well, that's hard. That's hard on most folks, where we still like to get out and interact and have people come in the office. It's not hit us too badly. I had one employee that thought she wanted to go somewhere until she figured out what the requirements were, but I know Rutherford Moss has they've had a little bit of trouble with that, and Blackburn Childers has had trouble with that. So, as I said, it's just kind of a sign of the times, but something we've never seen. So, but at any rate, we appreciate the opportunity to do the work for you. We'd like to get you caught up as well. So,
well, we appreciate you, Nick. Sure do. town made a good decision. A couple of years ago, maybe 3, when we went to road for Moss and
Yeah, you know, folks don't seem to understand why there have to be 2 CPA firms involved, and that stems from our ethics requirements as put forth by the State Board of Accountancy. We have to remain independent of our auditee, which is you, and if we do the piece that Rutherford Moss does, then the State Board views it as we're auditing our own work. And it's called independence, and we've lost it. So Rutherford Moss has to do what they do, which is primarily designing that report that you see. And then we have to go in and do our audit according to a batch of standards. It sounds redundant, it is expensive, but it's just the world we live in. So that's why you got 2 batches of people involved.
well, I think, for our part, I think it's worked out really good for us.
Well, good,
It's
good.
okay, so, I guess we need to vote to accept the audit. You think, Joe?
Yes, you need to accept the audit report.
Okay, we need to vote to accept the audit. And if anyone has any questions, welcome to bring them up. And then we'll vote on accepting this audit.
Go ahead and make a motion.
Absolutely, whenever you're ready, proceed. Need a motion and a second.
I make the motion, we accept.
Got a motion from Tim to accept. Second by Warren, Pam, roll call.
Alderman Bishop,
Aye.
Alderman Collier, Alderman Holmes,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Jernigan,
Aye.
Mayor Graham.
Aye. Okay, so the audit's passed. So again, we appreciate the work.
Thank you, gentlemen, I appreciate it. I will leave everybody to finish your meeting. I'm pretty sure I'm violating some part of the regulation when you're fine.
Hey, we know the police chief.
That's good to know. I don't, but maybe a little mercy when you see those Green County tags.
Very nice to see you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see one. Okay, so suggestion from NSAS, help with the fleeting sewer operations fund is to move the sewer construction account of $81,000 into the sewer operations account and close the construction. do that, we have to have a vote to move that. The construction account, of course, was created because, the work that was done, you know, to reduce the sewer and so on, so, we probably should do this, I think. There's no need to- We don't have any construction going on at this time.
Just to add, we currently have 3 sewer accounts, sewer operations, sewer construction, and sewer savings. And it just makes sense to get rid of the construction account and move all that monies into the operations account, considering it is depleting rapidly. Last week, I think we were down to around $4,000 in the operations account. It seems like we're dependent on the utility district check each month to, put it back into the operation account. I can't stress enough, and I have MTS behind me. Something's gotta be done. We can't operate with the account that we have currently with, considering Churchill, the bills with Churchill. It's just not good right now. MPAS also wanted to let you all know that if we continue doing this, that eventually the state will step in and they will set the sewer rate.
I've attended the Rogers meetings for over 20 years. So they didn't like what I saw. And it's like 3 months of water department head. The next week.
How much do we just move into there?
Bigger head on the back.
So the maintenance
Big
guy.
job. What happened?
45,000.
45 And it's done again?
Yep, it's just,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, what's eating us up, of course, you know, the pumps.
yep, the pumps, Churchill, their billing, their rates have gone up, our rates have stayed the same. That infiltration problem with the school, it's just, it's getting worse and worse.
I guess here's where I stand. I don't mind moving the money, but if we just move 45,000 in 3 months ago, and we're moving 80,000 in right now, we're putting a Band-Aid on, we're gonna have to address, because the next time we're gonna have no money to pull from.
Well, the thing is, you know, at some point, we may have to, do a rate adjustment. And of course, we've got other issues that we have to deal with that Pam just mentioned. it's what the board wants to do, you know, with the money sitting there.
Are we any closer to resolving the school issue?
I think so. Yeah, I think.
How long did MTS say it taken to do this study? Whoever's talking.
That's on our next item. He has a list of items that he hasn't sent to me yet of what he'll need, but he didn't give an actual time frame. Basically, I mean, there's no one else that can do the sewer rate study, not unless y'all hire a sewer engineer to come in, or either way, it's gonna cost money.
No, we need Brandon Pass to do that.
Yeah, it's gonna cost money.
We can probably have a better idea from Travis Bishop, before the next meeting, once he kind of gets program started. There are probably a couple of other things that may be desirable. One is, as I talked about last month, is to amend the sewer ordinance to permit the board to select one of its members to be the manager of the sewer system, and 3 other members to be on the sewer utilities board of appeals. Perhaps by doing that, have a little bit more first-hand input from the board of mayor and aldermen in doing that. I did not have an opportunity last month. I had some issues arise that kept me from doing a number of things, but I did not get a chance to deal with Rutherford Moss to see what they could do to assist the board as far as reporting the financial condition of the utilities fund. I hope to get that done before the next meeting in December. Third thing is an issue that arose. I spoke to building inspector Vince Fishner. He had been instrumental initially when the system was first developed in obtaining the easements and the sewer user agreements and recording them. We probably need to review what's happened in the last years since that initial project was started. Be sure we have all of the current users with a user agreement of record in the registrar's office, and start the process of comparing the billing from the utility district to the users. Surely we've had somebody sell their house to someone. When that happens, it's possible that some users have dropped off because the name has dropped off, and the district may not have the new owner as having a sewer account. We need to do an audit of that, not necessarily an accountant and Mickey Ellis kind of thing, but an internal project. And my suggestion is perhaps the board needs to talk to Vince, since he was the original person who did all that and knows how it was done, to kind of bring it up to date and report to the board. The system with respect to the inflow and infiltration still needs to be resolved, and hopefully we can establish that dialogue with the school and get it on the road to a solution. It's been kind of difficult for any number of reasons to get that accomplished, and I guess now's the time.
Well, so what we really need to do is, look at what MTS has got to say when we do this letter of agreement. There you go.
Well, that is directly addresses the rate,
Right.
but some of these other things impact the rate, but they're not things that MTS can do for the town.
Right.
They're things the town's gonna have to have, and as I say, probably someone on the outside like Vince, to take on a project and report back that everything is the way it should be.
Okay, I think let's just move on to this. Okay, we'll leave the 81,000. We'll move on down to this letter of agreement. So we have to vote for them because that will cost us. We have to pay for that.
Well, wait just a minute, let's just go ahead and move the money. I say, if we've only got $4,000 in that account, should we not go ahead and move the money?
Yeah.
Well, the money's, I don't think that money's drawing any interest or anything, it's just sitting there, I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it's very
All
small,
right,
but
whatever the board wants
What
to
do you
do.
think? I mean, if we're at $4,000,
I don't see no problem moving it,
I'll make the motion, we move the money.
Okay,
We're closing the, construction account.
Yes, sir.
Right.
$81,000.
$81,000 moved to the operations.
Correct.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion by Tim, second by Warren. That's a roll call.
Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Tim Carwile. Some of you might not have heard of me in the past or whatever. I'd like to possibly offer my services to the town of Surgoinsville to assist in what seems to be a sewer problem with your sewer system. I said I've got many years of experience in utility management, along with financial. I am a citizen of the town. I sat and I watched y'all here 3-4 years ago when somebody told you that you don't have to worry about funding depreciation for 3 years. And I think that's where you get into problems now. Okay? Like I say, I'll throw an offer out there. I'm retired. It'll get me out of the house away from the wives to do jobs. In case you're interested. might give me a good recommendation, I'm not sure. Been a while, Joe.
I know.
I think Jamie might give me a good recommendation, I'm not sure. He hasn't pulled a gun on me lately.
I'll give you a good recommendation.
Okay. But I say, I've worked with Vince over the years too. But whatever, like I said, just,
We'll certainly keep that in mind, we sure
you
will.
know, if you wanna give me a call, get me out of the house, I'll come down, take a look at things. Like I said, one of the most important things to do is have a map available where your sewer lines are and who's hooked up to it.
You got a business card, can't you? Or-
I'm retired.
Okay, make sure I have your phone number before you leave.
Okay.
Okay, on the, moving the construction fund, ma'am, we need a roll call. vote.
Okay. Alderman Collier,
Yes.
Alderman Bishop,
Yes.
Alderman Hollis, Mayor Graham,
Yes,
Vice Mayor Jarnigan.
Excuse me.
Okay.
okay, we'll move on to this, letter of agreement that MTS has to do for us, so, I'm not sure, I guess that's something they will do and then give us a deal on it, but, anyway, it's something we have to pay them to do. So I'll need a motion and a second to, actually, agree to allow MTS to do this letter for us.
This is for the study itself, right?
I'm sorry, what?
Just for the study?
Yeah, I think it's,
That's the rate study.
yeah, the rate study.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, another roll call vote.
Alderman Hollis, Vice Mayor Jarnigan, Mayor Graham,
Yes.
Alderman Collier,
Yes.
Alderman Bishop.
Yes.
Okay, that motion is also carried. And, Pam, if you would, contact Travis. We'll proceed.
I will.
Okay. One other thing is this is the resolution to recodify the codes by impasse. It's also, we'll have to pay for it. And actually, we need something that hasn't been done in a bunch of years.
Make a motion to pass this resolution.
Motion by Bob,
I'll second.
second by Randy.
Let me point something out about this. I did this resolution, and as you saw in the findings about budget, this resolution provides for amending the budget to pay for it. I was unsure of where the money's coming from, so I just put in decreasing general fund budget. If there's another area of the budget that the board wishes to bring the money from, you can instruct the recorder about what to do about that. And there is an account for doing this, it just had zero in the budget. But these types of things, if we do the budget amendment when we spend the money, we'll never have a finding that we overspent the budget.
Okay, so,
It would have been in tonight's second reading budget amendment, but I didn't get your email until we had already completed the second and final reading.
Right, but if we do it each time you could come up with something new, it'll always be up to date.
Okay, and our next item is the second reading on the budget amendment, so.
Right, but it didn't include the
Oh,
recodification.
okay.
But can they vote on, putting monies into that amendment? And then after they vote or approve and vote, can I fix that on the budget amendment for the amount that they're gonna vote on, or
That's
is
possible,
that legal?
but probably the easiest way to do it is do it by resolution.
Okay,
That way it only takes one reading, you move the money around to where it needs to be spent, and you have a permanent record of doing it. It would just make things a little easier for everybody in the audit and in the bookkeeping trail.
Okay, so this resolution needs to also contain
It does contain an appropriation of $3,500 to the MTS recodification account from the general fund balance.
Okay.
actually, my fault, we did add it to the second amendment, so you'll see it in the budget. When we get to it on page 6, we added the 3,500 into the budget. We did that last second, so. Sorry for the confusion.
What's it there? Make a motion to set resolution.
I'll second.
Okay, so resolution 140-2022, roll call, Pam.
Alderman Bishop,
Aye.
Alderman Hawes, Alderman Collier, Vice Mayor Jernigan,
Aye.
Mayor Green.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's passed. And from that, we'll move on to the unfinished business, which is the second final reading of the budget amendment, FY 2023 budget amendment. So we need to, then that will complete that budget amendment, so.
And I can run through the pages real quick. You all had already studied the first reading with a couple of workshops. Tonight's the second and final reading, and there's a few additions since the November workshop. On the very first page, you'll see that the remaining of the ARPA money, the NEU grant came in November 1st. The previous 261,000 is in a reserve right now, so that's why you do not see the total of 562,000. If you go to page 5, we got some quotes in regarding the roof here at the city hall. I did call Public Entity Partners. We have to get an adjuster in to see if there's anything that they can do to say, yes, this is natural causes regarding the storms and the windstorms and such. But we got quotes on top of that as well. Kind of came around $5,400, so we put in $6,000. You all can hold off on that until the adjuster comes in to see what they have to say about it.
I'm sure that the insurance will pay some.
We hope so, yeah.
They paid a big deal on mine.
I think they will.
I paid 3/4 of mine.
On page 6, what we just talked about, the codification, it has that $3,500 in there on line item 101. It's highlighted. Page 7, we put this in $46,000 for a new police vehicle. we needed to put this in, considering it's just, we're on our first amendment, and we thought we would go ahead and put that monies in there, so you all can vote on that, and, James will be able to purchase his Tahoe. That's for the vehicle and everything that's equipped that goes on it.
Are we gonna pay for it or finance it?
No,
Well,
that
it's
will
coming
come
out-
out of James's now.
It's coming out of that opioid settlement, that 64,000, you all had talked about it maybe back in the spring.
We talked about doing something else too.
Okay, I was under the understanding that the 64,000 would, be considered the police fund,
It is.
and that the vehicle would be bought out of that opioid money, and
I
then
don't
you'll
think we had
still,
ever discussed buying the vehicle out of that $64,000, had we, James?
We talked about financing it like the other one.
Yeah.
okay,
Anyway, it's
I
fine,
can go
fine.
back to my notes, but,
No, we
okay,
can, it don't matter, we can,
okay,
We discussed buying guns and
yeah.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
Moving on. On page 8, this was something fairly new. Shane Southers, the fire chief, said that he had major repairs to a fire truck that has to be done. So he's looking at around $12,000 for those repairs on
It's a
the
new
fire
pump,
truck.
isn't it?
I don't know the details.
Put a new pump seal in it and everything else. When the hoses went bad, they had to pull the pump out, repack the pump and everything else. So it's, you basically have to take the pump out of the truck to work on it. It's in Knoxville already, so it's already down there.
Okay, moving on to page 11, this has already been discussed. Adding the sewer rate study, around $9,000. And then we had to up the line item for Churchill sewer fees due to increased expenses due to them. If we go to page 12, this also talks about the sewer operations and the sewer construction account. That number you see, negative 78,180, that is if we keep continuing the way we are for this current fiscal year. So by June 30th, if we keep spending the way we are, we're gonna be negative 78,000 in our account. So that's why it was highly recommended by MTAS to throw that construction money into sewer ops. Again, he couldn't stress enough that, you know, with this rate study, a sewer rate needs to be talked about. There's the problem with the school and the infiltration, it can't keep going on. It's been years and years that this has gone on. So this is where we're at now.
well, this is good information we need going forward.
And so that's your
The sewer system.
second and final reading for the budget.
And that's another, good reason to have this sewer rate study. I think everything we need to know probably show up. Okay, so we're back to the second final reading of this budget amendment. So we have motion in a second, I think, didn't we? Yeah. Okay, roll call vote on it.
I didn't get the first and second for the budget
We don't get
amendment.
it.
No.
Okay, need a motion in a second on this budget and second final budget.
What do we need a motion on?
We voted first on this last budget amendment, which included everything that she just went through. And that's going more or less bring everything up to date, I think, as far as our budget amendment.
Well, I have a problem with it because we had never talked about buying that vehicle out of that opioid money.
I can take that out if you
You
all
know,
agree.
that don't mean by passing this that we have to do, that's not in here, that's not what we're doing. Yeah.
It'll just be there for the whole fiscal year if you all decide to do that, so we don't have to go back and do another amendment.
Well, I'll make a motion to accept it.
Am I correct, Joe?
I'll second the motion.
Had a motion from Bob, a second from Warren. Roll call again.
Vice Mayor Jernigan, Mayor Graham,
Yes.
Alderman Halls, Alderman Collier, Alderman Bishop. Okay.
Okay.
We have got to get the school situation straightened out. We've got no choice.
It's gonna break us.
Yes. It's got to be resolved.
Travis from MTAS asked me, what is the current situation, and from my understanding, there have been a couple of meetings set up with the school board, but somehow they got canceled. They keep
They've been more
the
than
meetings
two.
have been,
They've been more than two, but yes, we're in the process, and of course now it's holidays, but at some point in the very near future, there'll be a meeting.
We've been kicking this thing for 5 years.
Yep. Okay, anybody got anything else?
James?
Did, we come up with any numbers for adding somebody for nights?
No, that hasn't, it wasn't included in the budget or anything.
I didn't even know about it.
but that, we can discuss that, I think in fact we will discuss that in the next few weeks, yeah, what days really,
All right.
yeah.
We discussed it at the last workshop.
Unfortunately, I wasn't here, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we need to figure out exactly what that's, you know, what it's gonna cost and so on.
Well, James says that he's not used any part-time this year, and we can pretty much pay his salary out of part-time. And
I don't, there'd be no problem to, hire another officer.
well, he's already in with part-time, so all we gotta do is say,
Yeah, that's all we got there,
going to full-time.
yeah, maybe more.
What do you think about it?
I'm for it, I'm all for it.
You make a resolution.
I mean, you know, this is, the town is, obviously is moving forward. I mean, our audit, you know, that, this came out in the audit and, I mean, it's not, it ain't a dream. The town's has more financial, abilities now than they have had, and so I see no problem at all. And maybe even at some point going beyond that as far as the police department.
Well, the merchants need somebody here at night. And that'd be a good way to do it.
Oh yeah, we need another, really, we have needed,
A long time.
yeah, for a long time.
So this person be working night shifts?
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, James will.
He'll be rotated through on night shifts and rotating the weekends and stuff like that.
Okay.
He'll be on.
He'll get some days, I'm sure.
He'll get a few days, but mostly his will be strictly nights, cause that's what he wants to do.
Okay.
There won't ever be two of us here at the same time. We'll be able to, I'll fix the schedule where we're not both here at the same time.
Okay.
So do we need to vote on that, James, as far as the money is going, I mean, as far as adding another?
I mean, that would be up to you all, if you wanna look
We
at.
can do it now. We just don't know what the numbers
We
are.
don't know what the
That's I
numbers
was
will be,
gonna
yeah.
wait on. And see exactly what the numbers are.
See what the numbers are and then we go from there then.
I mean, we could, am I wrong, I could actually do that
You can do it without a board.
before
Yeah,
the next meeting,
yeah.
I think.
Do I hear correctly that it's already in your budget? That
Well,
you
there's
can
part-time money in there, it's not getting spent right now.
Mhm. So therefore, could they not vote on that tonight? So-
Well, he's already part-time, so.
Yeah, all the mayor would have to do is change his status. Like,
We're gonna have to move money from
Yeah.
part-time to full-time, and then the benefits,
yeah,
insurance, and.
We could go ahead and let him go to work, and then at the next meeting,
Adjust everything.
adjust a budget amendment or whatever.
You could do a resolution to add an additional full-time personnel and move the money from part-time to regular salary and benefits, whatever that amount of money turns out to be at the next meeting.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion, we do the resolution.
Go ahead, moving up.
That he be moved from part-time status to full-time.
And move the money from part-time to full-time.
Got a motion and a second, right?
I'll second, yeah.
Motion Bob, second from Warren, to move one officer from part-time to full-time.
Do I need to?
Roll call.
Okay. Alderman Bishop,
Alderman
Haas, Alderman Collier, Vice Mayor Jernigan, Mayor Graham.
Yes. Okay,
these sewer pumps, we ain't been able to get none at all from Michael Bailey. They're really hard to get. I've called him for the last 2 or 3 times and no status on them at all. We're down to 3 1.5 horsepower pumps, and that's it. We have no more pumps at the shop. And I called Bailey the other day, and he said that he couldn't even get them. We can't even get our warranty pump back from Stewart's. It's not coming in. So I got a hold of Logan that helps Austin Dalton come do her sewer and stuff. And he recommended a Gould's pump. It's a lot better pump than Myers, and you get a better discount when you buy, like, get 5 pumps. They discount it. It's $100 more on the pumps. Where we was paying $6.99 for a 3/4 horse, it'll be $800. And
Is that after the discount or before the discount?
that's before the discount. So we need to, seems like the pumps that we've been getting from Bailey here lately ain't lasting very long at all. Considering what pumps has been in the system for a while, say what, 3 to 5 years, that's the ones that's going down on us. And that's
Will these, others hook up the same way?
yes, they all hook up the same way.
You can get them, I don't see any problem getting them. I mean, we gotta have them.
Yeah.
We gotta have some stock.
We've got to have stock, and that's be nice.
Well, they did, I mean, just ask them.
Yeah. The way they're going out, you're gonna have to have them.
Yeah.
So this pump is supposed to be a little more superior to the other.
Yeah, Myers ranks number 4 out of the, according to the way Logan was telling me, they rank the last in all the pumps. Franklin pumps are the number 1 pumps, but they're $1,400. Gould's comes in second, so, and he said that, you know, they last longer, they're got a better motor and a better wet end in them. And I talked to Logan about rebuilding the pumps that we have. A motor alone, just for that 3/4 horse, is $450. So it's not worth having a motor put in it and paying someone to rebuild it.
Well, let's try that.
We need to get pumps, because you got holidays coming up and stuff, and that's when everything tears up. Trust me, I work in a chemical plant, and anything can tear up. Pumps and the weather and everything, so it's getting colder and.
But some of these pumps is like 3 weeks out on them. The more, like the one horsepower, they're like 3 weeks out before we can get them. But 3/4 in stock now, so we can get to 3/4. And we've got 3 1.5 horses, so we don't need none of them. And they mainly, those 3 would mainly go like to school and the apartments here behind Merle's restaurant.
I think you just did the change one Saturday, right?
I did. I changed one, and
And
so,
there's a lot of junk in it.
oh, his grease built up like crazy in it. But that wasn't what tore it up. It was working. It blowed the hole where the plumbing goes down into it. It blowed all of that out. I guess it's called the wet end. It just blew it out of it. And I don't know how long those pumps have been in there. There wasn't no date on them. So we date all of them. It's a little sticker comes with them, and you put the date on them. So
I'd say they've been in there 6 years. probably.
No, I think at one time when Danny was changing,
Yeah.
but the departments,
You mean they've already been changed some?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's been 2 or 3 years ago.
And I I do think the warranty on these fuel pumps is longer than a year. So,
Get the details of it now, might as well get some pumps.
Yeah.
You got no choice.
One other thing, the city has always given the employees a flu shot if they so desire. So they can go out here to the drugstore and get them a flu shot, and if they charge anything, well, we'll pay for it.
Yes, I think some have already done that, I think. I think Tom has already had anything, has he?
It was about a month ago, I gave out little, cards that Holston Medical Group. They had about 9 or 11 cards for all the employees that they could go and get a free flu shot. Now, who took it, I don't know, but I gave them out.
Okay. But what Bob's saying, even if we have to pay for it,
Yeah.
we'll take
Yeah.
care of the flu shot. So,
Yeah.
yes, I think, yeah. In fact, I think that's what we've done before, and I'm not
Oh,
sure.
yeah, we do.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure. So, and I would suggest that people start getting flu shots. Yeah.
It's going around right now.
Oh, big time, big time.
Okay, anything else? Joe, anything?
No.
Jesse, everything okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, then you brought you some company, we'll be good to see you.
Yes, my son called. He's just moved back here from
Yeah.
Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, I talked to him the other day, yeah, it's good to see you, yeah. So you're here now? Yeah, good, good, that's good. All right, if there's nothing else, any news to adjourn, stand up. Thanks for coming.
I should do, yeah. I do that first thing in the morning. Well, I'll do it.